You know, she's different. It's something about her that I've never felt before. Never seen, never experienced. Like something, I just can't get my hands on it, but she's different. Now, what makes a man, a decent man specifically, say a woman is different? You know, we're not just gonna call anything different for no reason. When a decent man says someone is different, it is almost a complex compliment, especially for the ones who felt like they've seen it all. So when you say something is different, when a woman is different in our eyes, these are the 5 things, the 5 traits that makes us say that about her. All right, this is your guy Sealz the Man coming back at you with another video on another beautiful day. And this day is a little too beautiful because it's a little too warm. And as you see, I took off my hat. No hat today, but best believe this is still your guy, your internet brother, your internet cousin, Sealz the Man. All right, let's get started. What makes a man, a decent man, say that a woman is just different? Well, the first one is she is soul food and not fast food. Now, I actually made a video on this a couple years ago. I feel like, man, it's been years already. But yeah, if you haven't checked that out, it should be up here somewhere. Now, when I say that, I want you to think about what soul food feels, tastes like, the environment that is usually prepared in. And I want you to think about what fast food tastes like, what it feels like, how it makes you feel after you consume it. Once you think about those differences in those 2 types of food, you will understand and notice that there is a vast difference between the 2. So in my opinion, soul food is food that is made at home in an environment of love and nurturing, and is usually prepared for holidays, for families. It usually has a purpose and is made by someone of love or a loved one. Its process is long, it uses real ingredients, and its recipes are passed down for generations. There is a certain soul about soul food. That's why it's called soul food. Now, when it comes to fast food, there doesn't seem to be much soul in it because it is usually processed using processed ingredients. And this is the case because fast food has to be produced at a fast rate. Therefore, it uses cheap materials and it doesn't have that feeling of nurturing and love and family and deep purpose in it. You eat fast food late at night to quench your thirst and your hunger quickly. It is a temporary fix. So when I think about the 2 feelings that those 2 types of foods give me and placing it in comparison to a woman that I feel is different, soul food seems more appropriate. When I see a woman and she gives me the feelings and the vibes and the energies of purpose, of nurture, of care, of love, she doesn't seem like a temporary fix. Something that I get with late at night, on the fly. Something that I don't see myself eating or consuming or being with forever. When a woman makes a decent man feel like soul food, he feels a realness about her. The same realness that soul food is made of, okay? So that is my first take on what makes a decent man look at a woman and say, she's different. All right, so the second thing about a woman that makes her seem different is that she speaks to him and not at him. When this woman speaks to this man, he doesn't feel like a loser. He doesn't feel objectified. He doesn't feel less than. He doesn't feel used. He doesn't feel non-useful or non-human when he speaks to her because she speaks to him. When you speak to someone, you are speaking to their inner, their soul, their brain, their spirit. You are speaking with purpose. You are tending to them. That woman sees something in that man and she's speaking to that, adding value, making him feel whole. All of those things is what a decent man feels when he is being spoken to and not spoken at. When you're talking at someone, it's more for selfish reasons. When you're talking at someone or when someone is talking at you, they're usually just replying or responding to something. They're usually being emotional. They're usually just getting something off of their chest because they feel like they need to get something off their chest and you need to hear this. This is not for you per se, this is for them. But this woman, this different woman is not like that. She has a conviction behind her conversation, behind what she says. And he notices that, he respects that. And most likely, he wants more of that. That is what makes a woman different too. The third thing that will make a man say, wow, this woman is just different, is that she pours into him. You see, when you pour into something, you are adding something to that empty vessel. That vessel was once empty. That cup was once empty. That bowl, that pot was once empty, but now it has substance because it is being poured into. Now it has more value because something is being added to it. Now that vessel has utilization and purpose because something is being added to it to enrich its mission or its purpose. You cannot make pasta in a pot until you add the water to the pot first. Go ahead, try to make pasta without water in that pot. Just put the pasta in the pot. That empty pot with that pasta is gonna stay just like that, empty. And that pasta is gonna stay the same. When a woman pours into a decent man, and specifically a decent man, he understands that this is not something to play with. There are not many people out there, and the majority of people are not out there pouring into other people because they're going through their own problems in life. They're trying to pour into themselves. A lot of people are going through things, struggling with things, and they feel like they need to be poured into. So when this woman pours into me, pours into this man, and this man, me, I owe you nothing. You don't have to do this. You're doing this out of the kindness of your heart. You're doing this for whatever reason you feel like I need this, and you're doing it. That says a lot about this woman. And this type of different woman doesn't necessarily have to know the person that she's pouring into. He can be a complete stranger, but that does not matter to her because she wants to see all people do better. It doesn't mean that these people need to be related to her. It doesn't mean that they need to be friends already. She wants to see all people do great, so she is more susceptible and pouring into people. That says a lot about this woman. That is unforgettable. She is putting aside all the things that she's going through in her life, all the storms that are brewing in her mind. She's putting those things aside temporarily, quickly, just to make someone else feel better. That is different. The fourth thing that I want to bring up that will make a decent man say, wow, this woman that I'm talking to right now, she is different, is her standards are impenetrable, unshakable, unmovable. No one can deviate her from her standards. She is so strong in what she believes in. She is so strict in her morals. She was raised and taught well. Her self-respect is as hard as a diamond. She has that much self-confidence that nothing can make her less than. From the mindset in the eyes of a man, when we are introduced to a woman, or meet a woman, so it doesn't have to be romantic, it could be in any environment, it could be friendly or at work, whatever the case. When we meet a woman whose standards are like this, impenetrable, it makes an immediate effect on our current perspective of her. Because when we are having conversation with this woman and we ask or say something that's against her standards, she will strongly and immediately say no, or deny them, or reject them. Say for instance, we're at a job event or a happy hour or something, and I say, hey, you want to drink? Oh no, I don't drink at all. You sure? It is kind of lit right now. Oh no, I don't drink at all. But thank you. That is impressive to us. And yeah, it might make the situation a little harder for us to make an icebreaker, but I feel like that is worthy because she is being herself, she is strong in her standards, and she's sticking to it. There is no one that can break her from what she believes is best for her. Decent men love that, especially men who are interested in her, because this type of conviction in her standards brings trust. He feels like he's able to trust her more, that even he cannot distract her from her standards. That is admirable. That is different. And the last thing I want to bring up that will make a decent man say like, wow, this woman is different, is that she challenges him respectfully. Now notice I said respectfully. I don't want y'all going out here just challenging men, trying to match their masculinity, trying to tell men what to, that's not what I'm saying. But there is a way that you can challenge the other gender without being or becoming the other gender. For example, when she speaks, she inspires growth, and she could do that by speaking the truth with grace, being honest and transparent, but in an understanding way. Her telling him what she sees as his potential. Sometimes we can see our possible potential through others. My potential was spoken to me by the elders in my church or other people in my life before I was even comprehend my potential. They saw it in me, spoke it to me when I didn't know. When I didn't know what I was capable of. They poured into me. They spoke life into me. That inspires growth, but that also challenges me respectfully. When a woman sees a man and she sees something in him that maybe he doesn't see, she sees something in him more than what he's already doing, and she speaks it. She announces it to him. In a man's mind, that is a challenge. Say less. And for those who've been watching my videos, you know that I say all the time, men love challenges. We love missions. We love completing and accomplishing things. So when a woman speaks life into me, speaks potential into me, speaks success to me, I take that as a challenge, because why not me? But it took that woman to open that door, that vision up to me for me to see. That is beautiful, that is inspiring, and that is different. For all the women out there who have heard this before and don't understand why people say it or why men say it, this is why. You are appreciated, you are respected, so keep being different. This is your guy, your internet brother, your internet cousin, Sealz the Man, and I will see y'all on my next video. Peace and blessings. Keep being different. Goodbye.